Short-term disability does not guarantee long-term coverage. Hi folks, my name is Brandon Osterbind and I am an injury and disability attorney here in Central Virginia, and I help people whose long-term disability claims have been denied. And I want to talk to you today about short-term disability and how it relates to your long-term disability coverage. And of course, the lead into this video is that short-term disability coverage does not guarantee that your long-term disability claim will be approved. I had a client come into my office after suffering a traumatic brain injury with significant cognitive deficits and also emotional deficits that were created by that condition. And she won her short-term disability claim without any hesitation, without any problem, and the insurance company paid the short-term disability claim. But when time came for her long-term disability policy, she applied for her long-term disability claim just like she had done with her short-term policy, and her claim was denied. Now you may wonder why. Why was her short-term claim approved but her long-term claim was denied? Well, the answer is, well, there are really two answers. First, if you look at it from the insurance company's perspective, if it's a short-term disability claim for a period of 3 to 6 months, depending on the policy, then the insurance company looks at it as there's not a whole lot of money at stake. But if you're looking at a long-term disability policy, which could last for at least 2 years on most of these policies, some for much, much longer than that. Some policies will guarantee coverage up until your retirement age, which is usually around 67. So imagine if you're 55 years old and you have long-term disability coverage until you're 67, that's 12 years of disability coverage. Now imagine that your claim is worth $5,000 a month. That's $60,000 a year. Now we're talking, what is that, $720,000 for the life of the claim? So if you think about that, it's a much bigger deal to approve long-term disability coverage than it is to approve short-term disability coverage. The other explanation is a lot of times the policy definitions are different. Sometimes a short-term disability policy and a long-term disability policy can be written by different insurers hired by the same employer. So just because you have a long-term disability claim and a short-term disability claim doesn't mean that it's provided by the same insurer. And even if it is provided by the same insurer, the definitions are not necessarily the same because they're two different policies. So it's important to know what those definitions are, and it's important not to treat your short-term disability and your long-term disability claims the same way. So if your short-term disability claim has been approved and you're thinking about applying for long-term disability because you're not making the progress that you thought that you would be making, or perhaps your doctor has already said that you're not going to be able to return to work, then make sure that you treat the long-term disability claim with as much seriousness as you can, because I want your claim to be approved. I want your claim to go through, and I don't want you to have to call me, and I don't want you to have to go through the whole appeal process and filing in federal court and all of that stuff. So if you have questions about your long-term disability policy, what it covers and what it doesn't cover, and how you should approach your claim, give us a call. We'll sit down with you, we'll look at your policy, and we'll give you some advice, some recommendations on how to proceed with your claim to make sure that your claim gets approved the very first time. Give us a call on our office number, give us an email or send us an email. All of that you can find on our website or on our Facebook group. We'd be happy to help you in any way that we can.